On a cold, dark March evening in 2002, I walked into this huge, unfamiliar building for the first time. I walked up these stairs to the sound of people talking upstairs, and then up this other, much older-looking set of stairs, around the corner, up a few more stairs, and tentatively into the choir loft. A man seated behind the organ looked at me, smiled, and simply said, "Welcome." From that day forward, I always looked forward to coming to this place and spending time with my new family, the family of St. Victor Parish. This video is not meant to be a comprehensive history of the parish, nor does it include enough content to be a worthwhile representation of the impact the school and church had on the people of Calumet City for nearly a century. It is simply an effort to preserve a few memories of some of the people, some of the sights, and some of the sounds of a very special place, the community of St. Victor's, on the corner of Hirsch Avenue and Memorial Drive in Calumet City, Illinois. St. Victor was established in 1925 in a wooden structure just east of where the current church stands. St. Victor School followed in 1927, and the current church building was dedicated in late 1928. The building can seat over 700 people. Generations of children were baptized here, celebrated First Communion and Confirmation, participated in athletic events, acted in school plays, and graduated from St. Victor School. St. Victor was the place where thousands of couples shared their wedding vows and started new lives. In 2005, at the parish's 80th anniversary Mass, I met a beautiful, incredibly talented vocalist in the choir loft, and a few years later, we were married there. No matter who you were, where you were from, or what culture you represented, you always felt welcome here.
My name is Stanley Long, and my wife is over there, is Anna Long. We've been here for 56 and a half, almost, next week it would be 57 years. I've been an usher all those years, and a eucharistic minister at the 10 o'clock Mass for about 30 years. We've been tight. We've had Victor Fest every year. We've had good turnouts. I think the geographics is changing, that's all. You know, and we have no control over that. By the way, with all these years in St. Victor's, where's the unemployment line?
My wife and I have been parishioners here for 62 years, starting in 1956, the year after we got married. I was in a glory choir for 36 years until I fell down and broke my hip in choir practice, and I lost my voice. I had no more singing voice. And I also been with the Boy Scouts here, the Scoutmaster and Explorer Advisor, and chairman of the committee for 36 years also. My total years of service with the Boy Scouts is 80 years now. So my number one hobby is the Boy Scouts. Number two is Senior Olympics. I've been to 12 nationals. I got a bunch of medals in shuffleboard.
This is the oldest Boy Scout in the world, maybe. The world. Amazing. Cool dude.
Technically, I've been a parishioner since 1925 because my family grew up in Calumet City on Garfield Avenue. All of my aunts and uncles, who are all gone now, God bless them, they went to school here, graduated here. My mother went to school here, graduated here. I went to school here, graduated here. I was married. Michelle and I were married here. Our children went here. They went on and on. Michelle and I were involved in many ministries here. When Leo came, he welcomed everyone not only he gave people responsibility that never had responsibilities before. We had women that could not do anything in the church except show up on Saturday and scrub the floors and dust everything off, and they were called to ministry. And we watched those women blossom. We invited young girls to be altar servers here. All of that. That's just plain family. When I got back from Vietnam, I was in dire straits, and I was on the last ladder ready to jump off, and my wife convinced me to come back here. Leo had just been assigned here a few months earlier, and when I heard him give his homily, I thought, now there's the guy speaking my own heart. And little by little, I worked my way back in. Ron Schultz invited me to join the choir, and I did that 15 years ago. And this place has been a joy. It's been my personal savior. My heart will always be here, even though we're learning to grow now.
I belonged to St. Victor's for 45 years. My children made all their sacraments here. My husband was buried from this church. I was here when Father Leo Mann and Father Bill Stencil first came, and they changed my life. I think they changed a lot of people's lives. I was in the church women group, and I was president for a while. We did a lot of nice things, good things for the parish. They had Christmas bazaar that would make a lot of money because everybody would donate their time and talents. And then I ran Market Day for 10 years. Couldn't have never done it by myself, but everybody chipped in, and we'd have, they used to sell chicken steak. Do you remember if anybody remember? And there'd be, I don't know, piles. We'd have like 400 orders. Yeah, it was a big endeavor. So I am so grateful for this place. It changed my life, and I'm going to miss it.
At first, the pastor and I didn't see eye to eye. He was very conservative, and he thought I was like borderline hippie and probably shouldn't be around kids, but he didn't have that much concern with the school, so I weathered that, and he weathered me. And the next pastor, though, was a life changer for me. His name is Father Leo Mann, and he came here with the intent of using the old convent and turn it into a house of retreats, because he had a whole pattern and a plan of how to evangelize people and get them empowered to do what the gospel says. And the way I said it before is that he took my childhood faith, which as an adult wasn't working very well anymore, and he made me as an adult understand what Christianity is all about. And I got totally involved, more so with the school, doing retreats with our own kids, overnight retreats, which would now probably not fly well, not just because of the pandemic, but sure, that kind of stuff. So, and we had a tremendous faculty, and Father Leo was great at empowering people. We had ministries for the addicted, we had a food pantry, we had a clothes pantry, we had an organization for older folks, we had Widow and Widowers Club, we had pretty much all the gamut of our mandate to do the gospel. We kind of took care of. I got married here, kids baptized here, people are buried here, attended weddings of kids I taught, and it's just part of who I am, a pretty big part.
They used to send seminarians here to learn how to run a parish, really. Like our Dave Pavlik was a recent pastor. He was sent here to St. Victor as a seminarian to learn how to interact with people.
My husband was in the seminary with a priest friend who still is a pastor in St. John. But we asked him, we said, where do you think we'd feel comfortable? And he taught at Bishop Knoll at the time, and he said, I send my students to St. Victor because I know they always have wonderful liturgies. And he says, I think you'd be very comfortable there. And that was 40-some years ago, so he's a lector still. I was a Eucharistic minister for years. The first people we met here, they used to have a ministry where they greeted new people to the parish, and Carmen and Loretta Gambino were the ones that we met early on and have stayed friends with, even though they can't come to St. Victor's every week because of illness now. But this place is just, it's the people, it's the spirit, it's the Victor spirit.
Beneath the church sanctuary is the church hall, which has hosted everything from wedding receptions and special get-togethers to parish meetings, to community events, to many after-Mass gatherings filled with delicious treats. St. Victor was well known for the quality of events the parish sponsored, whether it was a concert, a phenomenal production of the Living Stations of the Cross, or a summer festival. For one long weekend every summer, St. Victor became the centerpiece of the south suburbs, with its annual Victorfest. You may recall seeing signs for it at intersections throughout the area. Thousands of people from all over the area would descend on this corner of Calumet City for a car show, massive carnival, and entertainment from dozens of different acts.
It's a Victorfest 2019. Thank you.
Victorfest was always a winner, and it helped the parish generate revenue that supported all aspects of its survival and growth. The heartbeat of St. Victor was its musical liturgy, which I was privileged to be a part of for over 15 years. Many different types of musical instruments added a unique flavor to the Mass experience, led by a pipe organ consisting of over 1,000 pipes and the masterful musical directors that played it. Most recently, Dr. Michael Kohler and Mike Cheersky. For many years, St. Victor had multiple choirs, including the Glory Choir, Festival Choir, Contemporary Choir, Revelation Choir, Celebration Choir, and Spanish Choir. The Masses were enhanced with the angelic beauty of the vocalists and musicians who donated their time to sharing their gifts.
Probably close to 40 years. It's the only church of my entire adult life that I've attended. It's been just a huge blessing to me, the many, many people I've known. I've been in a variety of choirs. I first started with the 12 o'clock choir, which was a guitar folky type choir, and drew me in, and the music has kept me here all this time. I was in the 12 o'clock choir, I was in the 9 o'clock choir with John Carr for a long time. It's been a huge blessing, you know. I believe when you sing, you pray twice, and it has enriched my faith deeply, and to share in the journey with so many wonderful people. I will definitely miss it. I love the church building, I love the stained glass windows, I love the risen Christ crucifix. It means so much to me. But mostly the people have touched me, and I'm glad we'll be able to stay together a little bit and hope to still see people at least now and then.
But a friend that introduced me to the church here. I immediately found something special in the Mass, and just in the just the feeling of the parish was something I hadn't experienced before. It was alive. Got involved with the music ministry. Met Mary. That.
Yeah, we were married here.
Good place.
Lots of memories.
The choirs would perform an annual Epiphany concert in the church, in addition to smaller concerts at other Calumet City venues, like the City Library and Memorial Park. The reputation of the parish's music program, as well as the church's remarkable acoustic environment, brought many special performances to the church, including guest organists, instrumentalists, and guest choirs. Most prominently, the South Holland Master Chorale.
I came in about 6-7 years ago. I was looking for a church, and lo and behold, there was Father Doobie at the door. Welcome to our church, and he's come right in. I hope this is not the last time that we see you. It was so awesome. He was so welcoming. And then I got to join the choir with Mike Cheersky and everybody up there. I always wanted to be in the choir, never had the time. Well, I did, and I met all these wonderful ladies, everybody there. And then one day we had a choir camp, and under that crucifix upstairs, which I'm going to miss
Lovely,
so much.
absolutely, yes.
Right there, the most wonderful thing happened. Al Jackson recruited us, Karen and I, to go and sing at the Master Chorale.
Under the direction of Al Jackson, the chorale consists of volunteers from all over Northeast Illinois and Northwest Indiana. Their annual performance at the church was always packed to the rafters.
Century upon century had passed since the Almighty set his bow in the clouds of the great flood, a sign of covenant and peace.
I wasn't at home in a parish, and immediately I found that St. Victor was my home parish, and it was for many of the same reasons. Obviously, choir was awesome. Father Doobie at the time was the pastor, and he had a way of reaching out to you, and it was a moment that you were able to just build your faith, and he got you involved. And I think that was the key to everything. Here at St. Victor, everybody's given an opportunity to be involved in some way, and I think that brings the Mass to life. And so now we're actually having to see where we're going to be going next, and that's part of, I think, the issue. Is because I'm not just used to sitting in the pew. I want to be involved. I want the community that we have here together, everybody, all ages, all races, everybody, we're all at this table here. It's so diverse in every way.
I've been here since I was 10 years old, I believe. I think that was in 1995 I started coming here. So it's been about 25 years I've been here. When I first started coming here, I think this is one of the first places I was accepting of my family. We were pretty much, I think, the only black family upstairs for a while. And everyone was very comfortable. Everyone was very welcoming. Everyone was nice. I remember that. I never felt uncomfortable in this church, not one time. Ice cream socials, summers with friends from St. Victor. Although I didn't go to St. Victor, I went to Wentworth. I had a lot of fun with everyone here. Growing up here was awesome.
As time went on, after Father Leo left, and the south suburbs started to economically decline because of the demise of the mills around here, things were harder, but St. Victor sojourned on and kept, not all, but most of its ministries going. When Father Len Doobie got here, he noticed a lot of Hispanic people living in town, but not seeing a lot of Hispanic faces or names at the church. He decided, we're going to invite people to come to St. Victor's, and we're going to get a Spanish Mass.
St. Victor always embodied a remarkable degree of multiculturalism. In addition to its traditional European population, the church drew support from a large Nigerian community. As the local Hispanic population grew, Spanish and bilingual services became more common. This included yearly celebrations for the Feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. Regardless of where the parishioners came from, St. Victor always supported the community at large. Community meals were held every Sunday in the church hall for over 3 decades, serving an average of 75 people every week. The food pantry, now known as Calumet City Resources, began in the church in the late 1970s as Victor Care. St. Victor was also a pillar of social justice in the local community. During a rash of violent crime in 2010, which resulted in the death of at least one parishioner, Pastor Len Doobie led a march for peace through the streets of Calumet City.
We say we are going to organize. We are going to organize black clubs in conjunction with the city administration and our police and fire departments. We are going to work together to eliminate these causes of fear. And we're going to put an end to the reign of crime that seems to be sweeping us here, not only in Calumet City, but so often in the south suburbs, probably caused by a lot of the economic issues. But there's no excuse. We're going to do this as Christian people, as loving people. But we are not going to say we're going to be doormats and people can walk all over us. That is no more. Amen. We are fighting back.
I promise you, you'll never get my tag.
En nombre del Padre, del Hijo, y del Espíritu Santo. Amén. Dear brothers and sisters in Christ, hermanos y hermanas en Cristo, on this most sacred night in which our Lord Jesus Christ passed from death to life, the Church calls all of her sons and daughters scattered throughout the world to come together to pray. Conmemoremos pues juntos la Pascua de nuestro Señor, escuchando su palabra y participando en estos sacramentos, con la esperanza cierta de participar en su triunfo sobre la muerte y de vivir con Él para siempre en Dios. O God, who through your Son Jesus bestowed upon your faithful people the fire of glory, sanctify this new fire and these Paschal celebrations. All time belongs to Christ and all ages. To him be the glory and the honor through every age, forever and ever. Amen.
I'm not gonna see the fire.
Que la luz de Cristo resucitado y glorioso nos ilumine. May the light of Christ dispel the darkness of our hearts and minds.
often referred to as Mr. G because I taught about 85,000 children at the school. If Alex would pan over the empty lot. Go ahead, Alex, go ahead. You're good at this. You can see there. Lovely, isn't it, folks? Yeah.
What grade did you teach?
That lawn used to be a school. I taught junior high.
Yeah.
Came in the fall of 1969 and stayed till they tore the building from under me. 2004, the school's closed and consolidated.
I'll go way back because I taught in school for 30 years. And then after that was ending, I joined a choir, which became a second family to me. So I'm here as a parishioner and as a former choir member. I'll come back sometime. And as a former teacher here, I love the place. I moved here from another city, and I didn't have a lot of friends, and it became my family on top of my husband's family who was here. So thank you, St. Victor, for everything.
St. Victor School served the local community for 77 years. Thousands of students created lasting memories and formed lifelong bonds within the walls of the school and at many extracurricular activities throughout the community. Between the 1970s and 2000s, enrollment declined by over 60%, and the school closed in 2004 as part of a consolidation of 6 South Suburban Catholic schools. The building stood empty for nearly 15 years and deteriorated greatly in that time period. In 2019, the decision was made to demolish the former school. Despite the loss, the community of St. Victor alumni has remained strong through gatherings and through social media. That was made clear when dozens of alumni gathered on a gray, rainy September day to share memories of their old school in its final days before complete demolition.
Oh my God! Look! Oh, Victor people! Look! We got it back! Andrews, we got it! You ain't getting it back! A lot of you younger people have no idea what this is. This was an annual benefit game sponsored by the KCs, and it was St. Andrews versus St. Victor at TF North. And the winner would get this trophy, and the names are, the years and the teams are engraved on there, and it's been missing for a long time. And son of a gun, but a Wortman found it. I can't believe it. Steve Wortman, class of 76? Somewhere around there. His father coached St. Victor football for 113 years. His son took over in, what year did you start? We didn't do memory classes back in
81, 82, and
and he coached till we had no more teams.
Right, 72, we were undefeated for CYO.
There's Mark, he was left tackle or right tackle?
I was a running back.
57 So,
then 8th grade,
St. Andrew,
73 is when
it's
we
here.
had that
Stay
tie,
here.
had the gold line thing.
Look at that, baby. Isn't that a beautiful thing?
What year?
You haven't taken real good care of it.
It's wild. I got my Notre Dame hat, my Bears hat on.
Bears hat and a St. Victor trophy. What could be better? All right, good.
Hey, Steve. We won. What did we win? 44 to nothing. Wow. We won the benefit game. Nice. 44 to nothing.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
They must have girls on the team there.
There we go.
St. Andrews.
Yeah. They were all bad. Yeah, there we go.
We destroyed them.
Switched over
Good.
to basketball.
Yeah.
Can you show me the years on there for St. Victor's?
Yeah.
Right there? Here we go. A lot of champions right there.
That's awesome.
I played football from 4th grade to 8th grade with Coach Rod Wortman and the family, and we were CYO undefeated champs in the 7th grade, and then in the 8th grade we were 500, but we still won the benefit game by a foot. It was just a great childhood growing up in Calumet City, Memorial Park and the carnival and the pulls and all the activities at TF North and the teachers. I was an altar boy for 4 years. I was an altar boy, but God bless St. Victor's forever. Go Warriors.
Some of the more daring alumni decided to take one final stroll through the hazard-filled building, even though they were technically trespassing. I gladly joined them.
bunkers. That makes sense.
This is where the lockers were?
Yep. I remember they used to have all of the 8th grade quilts hanging in between windows.
The New Book of Knowledge. I used to have one of these sets.
Yes, I am actually. Joe! Hey, come on up. It's safe.
Here's an old algebra book. Middle school math.
I know if you've seen the video, Mr. G, when they first were going to start tearing it down, this was his class.
Yeah.
And there was some green stuff.
Yep.
And he's like, look at this biology
We're
experiment.
still doing, yeah.
And he's like, you can see what I can see, but you can't smell what I can smell.
I remember that math book.
This one here?
Yeah. So I know when they were here the other day, a couple of the girls in the class after me found one of their books with their name in it.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. That's...
Yeah, look at there's still a pencil sharpener on that.
As someone who's explored dozens of abandoned buildings, I honestly wasn't expecting to find anything of note, apart from the few scattered artifacts already shown. After all, it had been 15 years since the building was last in use. We were all in for a sad surprise. Oh my God. But they've got all the books are here.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's a whole room about knee high. There's some in here, and then the rest are all in there.
This is heartbreaking.
Wow, look at this. It's loaded with books and probably old VHS tapes.
Mm-hmm. It's all going to go to landfill, probably.
Yeah.
I've been in a lot of abandoned buildings. I never understand why they don't clean out the libraries. There's an old World Book from '88. That's from when I was in grade school.
Dude, me too. Take it as a souvenir. Oh my God, zoo books. I remember those.
There's a Nat Geo over there. There's a few of them.
Oh wow. These don't even exist anymore.
Was that card catalog?
Card catalog.
$1981.
Go over here.
Oh, there's the carpet. The same carpet. Did they ever change the carpet? I'm gonna go with no.
Wow, look at
You know,
that.
I remember
Lord,
the
I don't know.
library being bigger.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Remember when I sat in Mrs. Lewis's office and got my first attention?
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hmm. Oh my gosh. Keeping this. Whoa. As the school came down, attention turned to how long the church would survive. Although still in great condition, the nearly 100-year-old church had, in recent years, started to show its age. And the, quote, poor condition of the campus, end quote, was a major reason the Archdiocese of Chicago supported closing the church when it announced a consolidation of St. Victor, St. Andrew, and Our Lady of Knock parishes in 2018. Throughout Calumet City, cultural changes in the community led to demographic shifts and a decrease in parishioners. It was no longer viable for an economically stagnant city of only 36,000 residents to support 3 Catholic churches. Unfortunately, as George Grenchick wrote in the local newspaper, quote, "It was the parish with the highest weekly mass attendance, the highest number of baptisms, communions, confessions, confirmations, religious ed students, marriages, and the one with the greatest diversity that would be closed."
There's an irony in the fact that the plan of the Archdiocese, which I kind of agreed with, there's not enough priests, there's not as many people coming to church as there used to be, not just this church, but in general. All that I agree with, but then when you go through a process and end up changing the largest and most vibrant church and say you're closed down, there's something that kind of said, this doesn't seem right. And as I looked into it, some of it wasn't right. The necessity to close this building for physical reasons is not playing out in reality. I mean, it's not that it doesn't need some work, but what place doesn't?
We actually did this the day before the school closed in '04. We chalked the whole, when the school was here, we chalked the whole school and the church, and we just put heartfelt things about the school and whatnot, yeah. So we thought we would do it, it was appropriate to do it today.
Sure.
Yes.
What makes this place so special to you?
Oh gosh. The teachers, the friendships.
Sure.
This place has been in my life since I was born. My parents went to school here. And it's just a place that, I mean, we're still all very close with our teachers and our lifelong friends. I mean, we met in kindergarten and we're still very close with a lot of friends, that the friendships and everything that we've gained here. It's something about St. Victor that
do you know what it is? Yeah, what makes this community so close-knit?
I think because we're just the values and everything, yeah, that they instilled in us when we were going here. I mean, it didn't feel like we were going to school. It was like just a place to come into and just be a part of. It was like a family.
Yeah.
It was a family more than anything, and it still is.
experiences, it transforms us into the one people of God. Long live Christ the King. These are our leaders. So welcome them. Go out of your way to welcome them, meet them, and let this transformation be the most wonderful thing that can happen, even in the sadness of the cross of this marvelous parish, the worship site being extinguished eventually. So much love was given here and experienced here and celebrated here, and let it continue. Let this go with you, all of you from St. Victor's.
The people that are doing the closing, the people that are here now, the pastor has freely admitted he didn't want to be the pastor of this new entity. They had another priest here as an African, and he had all of a sudden had big visa issues. He was gone, and Father Luis, I don't know if he took it or they kind of pushed him to take it, and he's just having a hard time because he's a good priest, but he doesn't really want to go through all of the grind that and some of the backlash he's getting from people. It's not really his doing, but he's kind of the point person, so yeah, I really do. I feel sorry for him and put in that kind of awkward situation.
We are under the same care of our King. We just have to let him guide us and protect us in the same way he has been doing it since our birth. The last Mass in this place is not today. Only the Sunday Masses, as I said. For example, I'm going to have a funeral on Monday because the family requested to have a funeral here. They have been low parishioners, and this temple, this site is still out, so let's use it. And until the very last Mass is prepared sometime in the year 2020. Then after that last Mass, we're going to be announcing it when that is going to happen. There is going to be a process of relegation. This process of relegation is a process where we have to say the things that we are going to say from this place, and the process of relegation is when this place is not going to be used as a church anymore. But that is going to be announced, as I said. There are a lot of mixed feelings and broken hearts, including mine, and I just ask for your support, your prayers, and that we can walk together in this journey. Thank you very much.
I came to church after away from Mass for about 5 years. Very opening people. They wanted to hold hands during Our Father. I never thought of that before. After that, I had a very good feeling in my heart. The songs spoke to me. The sermons talked directly to me. And the people embraced me. That's what I can say, and it's been that way since the beginning, and it's still that way today.
And when I came in, Father Leo Mann was pretty much on his way out, but I remember coming in. I had been invited by my girlfriend, Vicky Gutierrez, and I says, yes, I'll get there. Eventually, I did come in, and boy, I have to admit, when I heard the people, well, I mean, they were just, as Maria just said, they were so welcoming. It was just so beautiful. And I thought, where have I been? I mean, this to me was so heavenly. The Mass was absolutely divine. Homilies were just, it was like they were speaking to me.
St. Victor empowered people, and to all of my knowledge and understanding and experience, you know, this is what church was supposed to be like. You know, you're empowered, and then you go out, and then you empower people. You know, and the church perpetuates itself that way. You know, and Jesus' work goes on. You know, and that's, best of my understanding, that's what the gospel is about.
When I think of St. Victor, I always do so fondly. I especially remember the fantastic music. I had never heard a choir sound so strong, so on pitch, so consistent, and I know their skill and their dedication made me a better musician. The choir was its own family, and I cherish the memories of the people I met here, including many who are no longer with us. I especially remember Dr. Kohler. He was the man who welcomed me that first evening I came here. He was a master organist and pianist, an accomplished tenor, and somebody who always made you feel comfortable to be around. He always wanted to know about you. After winning multiple battles against cancer, it came back to take him at the age of 53. As others have said in this video, St. Victor's is a family. Whether you were here for 50 years, 15 years, 5 years, or 5 months, you felt like family.
In this old family of parishioners, I'm practically a newborn. I've been here for probably just over 4 months as a substitute accompanist, but I think like right away when I came in, I knew that I'd found something special. This family has taken me in and treated me as one of their own. Just whenever I'm here, I feel like I'm playing so like meaningfully and so strongly because of the people I'm playing for and the place I'm playing in. So even though we won't be in the here anymore physically, this place will always hold like a special place in my heart because of how special it made me feel and how it made me feel a part of something special too.
Here we are one last time.
Multiculturalism.
I mean, it's not much of a goodbye. You can't sit anywhere, you can't go in the pews, you can't go to the choir loft, you can't even use the restrooms. Who knows what's going to happen to that organ?